Hi guys, it is I, Mark S.W. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a serious video. I haven't done a serious video for a while, but something's come up, so I thought I'd share my autistic views of the situation. Now, for those of you who don't know, one of the YouTube stars I'm subscribed to is Rosanna Pansino. She's always been one of my favorite YouTube stars. She's really creative, she's funny, and she always tries to stay positive, even in difficult situations, and that's what I like about her. Now recently, Ro has been doing some videos about MrBeast. For those of you who don't know, MrBeast is a very famous YouTuber. In fact, one of the richest YouTubers in the world. He specializes in challenge videos. His real name is Jimmy Donaldson, and he's been known to be a bit of a a person who gives lots of money to charity and those who win his challenges. However, there have been some recent incidents that have left a bit of a question mark over Jimmy's head, which needs a sort of addressing. So let me just get you guys up to speed of what's been going on. Well, Jimmy has been planning this game show with Amazon Prime called Beast Games. It's open to all, so anyone can take part. In fact, thousands of people have taken part in this game show, all male, female, young and old. The prize is $5 million. Some of the contestants have been writing to Ro about the conditions behind the scenes of this game show. They are disgraceful and disturbing. Some of the contestants haven't had enough sleep. Some of them haven't had enough to eat or drink. Some of them that have been eliminated haven't been able to get home or find accommodation. And some of them have been injured or even suffered from seizures, and they've had to be rushed to hospital. If you want to know more details about these appalling conditions, go to Rosanna Pansino's YouTube channel or her social pages, because she's uploaded videos where she's read some of the letters out. Now, they've been sent to her because she's had some conflict with MrBeast in the past. Some years ago, she took part in a MrBeast YouTube star hide-and-seek challenge. Last year, she talked about how the game was unfair and it was possibly rigged because for two reasons. Firstly, the way the video was edited, it sort of focused more on the male YouTubers rather than the female YouTubers. That could give the impression that Jimmy is sexist. The second reason is that she mentioned about the rules that were mentioned, and she followed those rules, but some of the male YouTubers, they actually broke some of the rules. Like, for example, they hid in places where they're not supposed to go, or they didn't change position. In this version of hide and seek, they're supposed to change hiding positions, not stay in the same location. And some of them even fell asleep. And those people should have been disqualified. And then Ro would have finished about third place, but she didn't. Now, like I said, it happened years ago, and it was only last year that Ro talked about it, because it was at that point she found the courage to speak up about it. It does take time to find the courage to speak up about sensitive topics. But because of this, a lot of people were being hostile to her, mainly MrBeast fans. They were just saying, "Oh, you're just doing this for attention," or "Oh, you're just a bad loser." Now, I watched the hide-and-seek video, and I do believe she's onto something. I mean, the editing could have been better, and those people who did break the rules, they should have been disqualified, but obviously they weren't. And I've seen something like this happen before in Robot Wars, which is the UK version of BattleBots. There was a tournament called the New Blood, in which newcomers to Robot Wars would compete, and the winner would get automatic entry into Series 7. Now, the winner was a robot called Storm 2, but the producers of Robot Wars didn't like the robot because of its lack of active weaponry. And so for Series 7, they tried to change the rules, they tried to interfere to make sure that Storm 2 didn't win. And that's just not cool. But anyway, going back to Beast Games, that's why Ro has been receiving these messages, because she's actually concerned for the players. And it's not just the poor conditions that they're going through. Some of the players haven't been real sports, they've been real jerks. Now, according to one of the messages that Ro received, apparently there was supposed to be a challenge where all the contestants had to be in teams of like hundreds, because there were about thousands of people taking part. Apparently most of the teams were like all young, tough men, and other teams were either women or older people. And all the younger men, they've been pushing, shoving, even attacking the women and the older people just so they can win. That's just not cool. Even some of the women and older people passed out during the games and have to be dragged off so they can continue with the games. That kind of behaviour is just not acceptable. Obviously these young, tough men, or let's call them morons for a start, they should have been disqualified and kicked off the show. But obviously they haven't. And what's even more shocking, it's been leaked that one of the contestants has a criminal record. I mean, what kind of idiot invites criminals to a game show? I mean, just because the prize is a large sum of money, that's no excuse to act like sexist barbarians. A lot of people have compared the game show to like Squid Games or Hunger Games, and MrBeast is the dark overlord boss villain thingy, and he doesn't care who gets hurt or how this show is being made, as long as he's getting lots of views, he's making money, and when the cameras are on, he's giving money to other people. God knows what's happening when the cameras are off. And that's why Ro's been making these videos, that this is just unacceptable and it can't go on. Now, Ro put this tweet on her Twitter, or X, and I'm quoting here. MrBeast is a dangerous person. People around him are getting hurt and will continue to get hurt if nothing is done. I cannot in good conscience sit back and do nothing. I quite agree. Action speaks louder than words. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, but Mark, what's this got to do with you? I mean, you're not taking part in the contest. I mean, why the sudden interest? Are you just trying to defend Rose, saying that she's right and everyone else is wrong? Well, if you guys just listen, I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Now, as I mentioned at the start of this video, I'm autistic. And it may come as a surprise to you guys, but it's highly possible that some of the contestants in Beast Games could be autistic people. And if they are, then they're obviously going through those appalling conditions that those other contestants are going through. Now, some of you will probably go, oh, don't worry, there's no way an autistic person would take part in the game show. Well, don't be so sure, because some autistic people actually do things that they may not want to do or they're scared of, either to prove a point or for a very special reason. For example, I've got a friend called Finn. He's autistic and he's into boxing. Yes, it's a very violent sport and he could get hurt, but he's a brave lad. And then there's another friend of mine, says, some time ago she went abseiling right down a really tall building. She did it in memory of a autistic YouTuber who passed away in late 2021. And yes, it was scary for her, but she was a brave girl and she did it. And lots of people supported her, and even I made a contribution. Even non-autistic people do things like this to prove points. Like, for example, I've got an old school friend called Bianca. She took part in a dating game, and she won. The guy actually chose her, and she did it because she wanted to prove that it doesn't matter what you physically look like, you can still be beautiful and attractive. The point I'm trying to make is that as an advocate for people with autism, it's my responsibility to make sure that autistic people are accepted, and that non-autistic people and big organizations, even small ones, they're being flexible and making reasonable adjustments so they can be more fair to autistic people. Because whether they want to or not, it is the law. It's also my responsibility to provide a voice for people with autism and to try and support, help, and look out for the younger generation of autistic people to make sure that they don't go through the ordeals that I went through and other autistic people in my generation went through. So like horrible schools and finding it difficult to get a job, things like that. So if there are any autistic people taking part in Beast games, I am so sorry you've had to go through these appalling conditions. If it's not too late, hopefully there's still time for you to drop out. You don't have to go through it if you don't want to, but if you do want to stay and continue, then I wish you the best of luck. You're very brave. I've always wanted to work in television or film. And I've done some filming projects where I've worked with other people, and they're brilliant. I mean, they're well behaved, they take health and safety seriously, they're great people to work with. But obviously, health and safety and responsible behaviour, these things are obviously irrelevant to MrBeast. Now, in my opinion, I think there should be an inquiry into this game show. And one of the questions that should be asked: if Jimmy is so rich, why doesn't he use his money to spend on people's health and safety? Because that has top priority. Apparently, some of the contestants that I think have been eliminated, they have been given like $1,000 of hush money. I think that's like bribery, to keep them quiet. Some of them haven't even accepted it, and some of them have spoken up and have complained about these conditions. Speaking up is not an easy thing to do. You've got to find the courage, the right stuff, the guts, or the balls, whichever you like to call it. But it is possible to do. It's not impossible. For example, when Mark Rupert did that Autistic charity live stream, it was a good idea, but he was giving the money to the wrong autistic charity because America has several, and some of them aren't that good, and he chosen one that was not good. That's why lots of autistic people, even myself, we did videos trying to point out that he's made a mistake. Can he change it? And of course we received lots of criticism and negative comments from horrible people. It's true, you have to put up with things like that. Most of those comments are either from people who don't want to listen, or they're from fans from the people that we're making comments about. So Ro received lots of comments from MrBeast fans, all telling her to back off. Yeah, but the thing is, most of them are either children or teenagers who don't understand how the real world works. They need to learn that it's different. I mean, there could be some people that are like Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons. When the cameras are on, he's all smiles and and then when the cameras are off, he's sort of a little grumpy, he smokes, reads adult magazines and wastes all his money. Some people could be like that. And let's face it, in reality, there's always an incident with a famous YouTube star or celebrity. Take Colleen, for example. Or is it Miranda? So to end this video, I've got 3 conclusions. 1, as I mentioned, there should be a full investigation on this show and the way it's been made and the behind the scenes, because if these disgraceful conditions are true, then they need to be rectified, adjusted. And if they won't adjust them, then the whole show should be scrapped. 2, you need to understand that Ro is not trying to attack MrBeast. She's trying to point out that he's making too many mistakes. Because some people think these type of videos, we're just rants, complaints, and just sulking. Well, that's where they're wrong. People do these videos to educate you. To point out that when people make a mistake, they need to learn from those mistakes. That's how you become a better person. We all make mistakes. It's normal. But these mistakes that MrBeast is making, he definitely needs to learn from them. 3, if you are autistic and there's something that you don't approve of, or if you're worried or anxious about something, or there's something that's really upsetting you, try your best to talk about it. Maybe do it to camera if you feel more comfortable. I know it's difficult, but you have to understand that sometimes if you try and hide it, it could get worse. It's kind of like with Elsa when she tried to hide her ice powers. That just only made things worse. Like I said, it is possible to find your voice and then speak up. What you could do is maybe set up a deputation. It's really up to you on how you want to speak up, but by doing it, then you're setting an example for other autistic people, showing them that it is possible to make a difference. So that's my autistic view on the situation. Hopefully some of you guys have found it informative. If you haven't, then go away. But if you have, thank you for listening. Take care, stay safe, and good luck. Over and out.